From the former champ taking a break to his return high-key exciting the fans, here's why Anthony Joshua's comeback will change the boxing industry forever. Let's roll back for a second though, because if you recall, he took a break from boxing after facing consecutive losses at the hands of Alexander Usyk. I mean, one loss you can bounce back from, sure, but 2 losses consecutively? Sheesh. I understand taking some time off after that.
Memory of an excellent round for Anthony Joshua, and some good shots land from Alexander Usyk.
You've got to understand how big of a thing this break was for him though. Anthony Joshua, for quite some time, was the poster child in his league. I mean, the guy is a 2-time unified heavyweight champion, and with all of that hard work he put in, he still lost his title to Usyk. And after getting a chance to get his title back, he lost that too. This probably dealt significant damage to his morale. I mean, some people had started to speculate that Joshua may even retire from the sport. Fans got to see a little bit more of that flame and passion in his eyes when in September though. When responding to Tyson Fury's Battle of Britain heavyweight clash, Joshua even showed a willingness to maybe have at it with the Gypsy King. That's why now that he finally confirmed it, his return has all the more reason to get the fans absolutely pumped up that the former champ still has it in him to go on one more round. I mean, you can hear it from the man himself.
Looking for that big right hand and that uppercut. 3 in a row right there.
It is.
4.
There it is. Putting his foot on the gas now. There was a little something.
In a recent interview, while hyping himself up, he says he's both mentally and physically ready for this comeback. And let me tell you something, this comeback isn't a big thing for just Anthony Joshua's career. It can also be an event that changes the future of boxing as a whole. How?
No, that was just a kind of punch. Quite the opposite from Joshua.
Okay, just hear me out. So these days, how boxing fans view the sport is that with this new breed of fighters and their incredible win-loss ratios and undefeated streaks, if you've lost to someone, it deals massive damage to your reputation. And Anthony Joshua, after losing once to Andy Ruiz Jr., which to the layman was a fight that seemed impossible for Joshua to lose, and not soon after regaining his title to lose consecutively to Usyk, meant that many boxing fans had written him off their books. But now, in hindsight, if Joshua wins this fight, he's probably gonna move forward, and his next fight is most likely to be whoever the winner is between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. Yeah, you heard that right. So if Joshua pulls this off, he could very likely be making a comeback worthy of being mentioned in the history books. But hey, that's no easy feat. His comeback fight with Jermaine Franklin is being looked at like Joshua will just breeze past him. But that's what people thought with his fight against Andy Ruiz Jr., not to mention fighting either Usyk or Fury, both of who are genuine titans in the sport currently. Joshua definitely has his work cut out for him with these next few fights. Now, why do I think Anthony Joshua's return might change heavyweight boxing forever? Well, that's a matter of what we all hope happens to boxing. After all, everyone wants the sport to come back into the mainstream. And of course, Anthony Joshua is the one who can make it happen. I mean, everyone has seen the hype around influencer boxing these days. You've got Jake Paul at the forefront, and then in the back, you've got a bunch of influencer-based boxing events. And, oh yes, this for sure is bringing a lot of attention back to boxing. Hell, they even have legendary boxers like Floyd Mayweather, who has at this point fought 2 influencers. But let me ask you this question. Do you think these 2 wins against influencers are something Floyd Mayweather can count in his professional boxing record? I don't think so, if you ask me. Some of these influencers have only trained for a few months, and the most experienced ones have only been at it for some measly years, and that too, non-seriously. On the other hand, Anthony Joshua is a proper, recognized, and beloved classic professional boxer who's been at it since 2007. I mean, the influencer fights can't be compared to the fights Anthony Joshua puts on. But you see, Joshua also has a very active social social media presence, where he's both loved by the youth and the boxing-loving old heads. He's an influencer and professional boxer, both rolled into one, and that's exactly what the sport needs right now to get back into the limelight. But let's be honest, if he makes such a hardcore comeback, he'll be any marketing department's dream as the new face of heavyweight boxing. Boxing fans are no strangers to the fact that Anthony Joshua is an absolute handsome stud, loved by the ladies. He's loved by the guys too for his skill and talent in the boxing ring. He's a very charitable, generous, and relatable guy to the youth. Yes, that's right. Everyone loves him. And he's someone you can easily market to casual viewers and the mainstream media. Plus, everyone's loved it every time he's been on the Graham Norton show too. Okay, let me explain where I'm going with this. And I promise, I'm not just fangirling over Anthony Joshua. If he becomes the face of heavyweight boxing, you can bring the sport to casual and mainstream viewers who would love to watch more and more of the 33-year-old knockout artist on their screens. That means bringing in more boxing fans, and everyone knows that's truly what boxing needs in these times. Because with competitors in combat sports like MMA slowly seeping into mainstream media, their profitability has grown to new heights which boxing can barely compete with. Boxing needs a new face for a fighting chance. And with Joshua's return, this isn't just a possible comeback for him, but also for the sport of boxing as a whole. Now, for his next fight with Jermaine Franklin, everyone is going to be glued to their seats. Seriously, fans can't wait to see Joshua's return to form. Everyone's in desperate need to see Joshua's exciting and electrifying style of boxing again. And hey, I love a calculated fight, but sometimes fans need a bit of high gear action. And I can assure you, in an Anthony Joshua fight, you won't find a single person yawning in the stadium. If what everyone's heard about his return is true, and if he really is better than he was before, then fans won't be able to take our eyes off him. He's super fast and his punches hit like a truck, so fans love watching with their eyes peeled, making sure they don't miss the knockout. And with a boxer like him, you best believe he's always looking for that knockout any chance he can get. I mean, isn't that the electricity and energy that the future of boxing needs? And with this matchup, Jermaine Franklin has a pretty good record of 22 wins and 1 loss too. So if Franklin has the fight in him too, then this could be a classic boxing match of grit and perseverance. Let's not forget that Franklin is also trying to come back from a loss after his last fight, so he has something to prove too. And maybe winning this fight will give Joshua exactly the momentum he needs to shoot for the unified heavyweight champion title. Nevertheless, everyone's waiting to see how his comeback will affect the future of heavyweight boxing as you and I know it. Alright, that's it for Joshua's return to boxing. See you in the next one.